Pompo the Cinéphile is an animated film. Knew nothing about this, but it's a G Kids release. I usually watch all of their films because I trust their selection. Anyways, this one's about Pompo. She is a young producer in Nollywood, which is like an alternate sort of movie making capital of the world. She is the granddaughter of a famous producer who retired, so she sort of inherited his wealth, his connections, and she loves movies, but she makes B movies. She produces these big budgeted Michael Bay-like action fests with lots of skin and guns and monsters and things like that. And she has a personal assistant named Gene, and he's kind of like a baggy-eyed sort of, he looks kind of like zombie-ish. He's very quiet, introverted, but he's also maybe an artistic genius. That's why Pompo hired him as a assistant director, not assistant, but yeah, his assistant secretary. And however, she wants to be wowed, so she writes a script about a aging conductor who goes to Switzerland or something, and Pompo is usually making these sort of like trashy B movies. They do well in theaters, but she wants to create something with more substance. So she writes a 90-minute sort of drama film. Her grandfather was able to convince an amazing actor to come out of retirement to be in it, and she also grabs an ingenue. And then she wants to give Gene the opportunity to direct this film, even though it's his first film. He's very daunted. He's got some editing skill. He's picked up a few things by being in the industry, but this is like his big break. So that's kind of like the theme of this movie, that like people, they have hidden talent, but you have to like give them their big break. So Gene will get his big break being a director, and a young actress named Natalie will also be an actress. However, this is based off of like a web manga. Didn't know about that, but the conflict, there's like two sources of conflict near the end. The climax, the sort of drama feels really forced. It's the equivalent of like, you're like, I have to go to the bank to withdraw some money, and then like on the way you trip and fall, and then you sort of get sad and go, I can't get to the bank. This movie definitely has some really bad story points. I don't want to get into the plot, but basically conflicts that don't feel really genuine or real. Not that the movie itself has any weird rules. We're living in a fictional Nollywood, which is like basically a parody of Hollywood, where a child can produce movies. But I'm just saying that even within the confines of its own reality, the movie doesn't seem that concerned with creating realistic tension and conflict. They sort of comes out of nowhere, not really believable. So it kind of sunk the movie for me, and had this really like fake kind of like heart-tugging scene in a boardroom that didn't really work. They introduced this character late in the game, and the movie has this artistic thing of doing a flashback to show something happen laterally. So like, for example, they showed that the actress was in a flashback. They show her backstory and how she got her big break into being the lead role in this film. So they do the same with this other character, and he didn't really fit. I just felt a little like thrown in at the last minute. But overall, the animation's fine. The movie's just a big love letter to filmmaking, but the story wasn't 100% there. So I give Pompo the Cinéphile a 4.5 out of 10.